On Wednesday night, we saw the Kias show what they can do in the primetime slot. Tonight, it's a turn of a brand new car and a brand new championship. It's the iRacing.com Formula Renault 2.0 Championship from the historic, iconic, legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit, here on Friday night primetime on RaceSpotTV, streaming on iRacingLive. We'll be right back after these short messages. Welcome back to Spa-Francorchamps for this first week of the iRacing.com Formula Renault 2.0 Championship here on RaceSpotTV, Friday night primetime, streaming live on iRacing Live. My name is Paul Smith, alongside me is Randy Chenoff, and Hugo Louis is on the cameras for us tonight. And well, Randy, it's a brand new car to the series, to the service even, and these drivers have only had about a week and a half to get practice in. And well, these guys are going to have to show us what they can do in this car. What do you expect from tonight, with them only having such a short amount of time to learn what this car can do, Randy?
Tonight can certainly be drama-filled. Obviously, we're at Spa. We're running this, but we're going to be going to turn number 1 as a ruse, so just about anything can happen. But yeah, setup is going to be a pretty interesting discussion, I think, over the course of this 12 laps. Like you said, it's only been about a week and a half. The drivers have had to really tinker with their garage settings, get their tire pressure figured out, their aero settings. So we'll see if people have the cars dialed in yet, or if some people are still fighting any weird characteristics that they're going to be looking to dial out of these cars as we go deeper into this season.
And we've always seen from the likes of Skip Barbers just how exciting the racing can be in these smaller Formula cars. With this Renault with the 2-litre engine, it's really going to be close, exciting racing. There's enough aero on this car that the draft will be effective down the Kemmel Straight, so we should see plenty of action, certainly from these drivers as they're currently in qualifying at the moment.
Yeah, the Formula Renault is definitely basically more of akin to a Star Mazda or some other baby Formula car. Not really a Skip Barber, but yeah, the car's got a lot of aero, and they're going to be getting a lot of draft down the straightaways. And part of the reason they're going to be getting all that draft is while they have all that aero, they really don't have a whole lot of power behind them. I mean, yeah, the little 2-liter engines are making some good power, but compared to a lot of the other bigger Formula cars, they're relatively slow. And that just gives you more and more time to just basically sit behind someone and draft all the way down, let's say, the Kemmel Straight or on the run to Blanchimont.
Well, as I say, we're in qualifying. The drivers have 2 laps to set a qualifying lap time. At the moment, Martin van Loosenorder has just gone through Le Combe and through Malmedy now. He is in pole position at the moment, but Graham Carroll, he's in second place. And we've got a few drivers here that we've seen in the iRacing.com World Championship Series, which of course you can catch tomorrow from about 1:30 GMT here on RaceSpotTV and iRacing Live. And you know, these drivers, they're really good in the single seats. They can show that they can do it at the pro level, and really this is just the case of having a bit of fun for them, is it?
Yeah, I mean, it really sort of is. Obviously, they're putting all their efforts really and most of their time into that McLaren Formula 1 car, that MP430, but they want to have maybe a bit of a laugh. Not to say that they're not taking it seriously, but just sort of relax, have a bit of fun. and really go back to the old style of, okay, let's race for fun, nothing for too serious. You know, the Formula Renault is definitely going to be for them. It's also going to be a pretty short race for them. I'm sure they're used to doing the long Grand Prix length races with pit stops, and you know, here it's just going to be a 12 lap sprint, about 25 minutes. Get it run, get it done, and move on.
Absolutely, as we're coming towards the end of qualifying here, Wyatt Gooden has moved up into second place in qualifying. The lap times between the front three, there's only 0.2 of a second between the front three on the grid so far, so that just shows you how close these drivers are, and there's only a second covering first to 17th at the moment in qualifying. This is going to be close, it's going to be intense, it's going to be brilliant to call, is this?
Oh, it definitely is, and while there's only 2 tenths separating the top three, the top two are separated by 300ths, and I believe it's actually less than 300ths. I believe it's 2,500 or something like that. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very, very exciting race given the closeness of this qualifying as we head towards the grid.
So yeah, so as they line up on the grid, it's Martin van Loosenhout on pole position with Wyatt Gooden in second place, Graham Carroll in third with John Elliott in fourth, Ken Bolbuxy in fifth place with Mark Perez in sixth. Christian Tananato is in seventh with Philip Hébert in eighth, Mark Jarvis in ninth, and Simon Povey in the 10th place. And as I said, the top 20 in the end covered by 1 second. There's 25 cars in this grid, so it just shows how intense and how close this race is going to be. Randy, as you said earlier, the run down to turn 1 is Eau Rouge, and through Radion, should I say, as well at the start. It's all about just not having any accident there, isn't it, really?
Oh, really? I mean, between La Source and Eau Rouge, really, whichever one you choose has its strengths and weaknesses. Eau Rouge is definitely going to be maybe a little scary if you get forced going, a little more scary, rather, if you get forced going 2 to 3 wide, but at the same time, I think if you can get single file, Eau Rouge will be a little bit easier because they should be just going through their flat out for this short run down into turn 1. So we're going to have to see how it goes. If people can stay smart and don't really push anything stupid, it should be fine, but if people want to get racy going down in turn 1, it could get really bad really quick.
So we're just waiting now for the drivers to get onto the grid. And well, this is going to be a fantastic race. The debut of Friday Night Prime Time on RaceSpotTV, streaming live on iRacingLive. About 20 seconds to the start now. Everyone just getting onto the grid. And well, Martin van Loosenhout, the man on pole position, it will all be about that start, that getaway from the line, as the drivers now getting ready for 12 laps around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, and the green light goes, away they go, and it's a good start from Wyatt Gooden from second place on the grid, down towards turn 1, the Eau Rouge, should I say, but Martin van Loosenhout into the lead there early. Wyatt Gooden getting through into second place, and straight away Graham Carroll looking on the attack, trying to go around the outside but not got the draft there, so he's having to tuck back in. Everybody seems to have got through so far, so it's down towards Lecombe, and look at this, 3 wide down towards Lecombe. Matt van Loosenhout in the middle there, he doesn't know where to go, he's going to stick it to the middle, and through into the lead goes Wyatt Gooden. Matt van Loosenhout in second with Graham Carroll in third, but good start so far, plenty of action going on, but everybody keeping clean so far.
Yeah, that was certainly a good start. We only had 1 car spin off at going through Eau Rouge, but a fantastic 3-wide move for Wyatt Gooden going into Lecombe to get through, and he actually got himself a pretty sizable gap over Martin van Loosenhout. Sorry. But yeah, that's a very good move, and that gap's going to be very handy because with as little power these cars have, as much drag as they produce, you want to try to break the draft as much as you can.
Joel Guez going through down the inside into Pouon, past Riley Preston, of course, another one of our World Championship drivers, and he's racing this race as well. They're going 3 wide further back into the chicane there at Fania, but everyone seeming to keep themselves together. Martin van Loosenhout already in that second place. He's having to keep behind and trying to use that draft now. This is another place where you can use the draft down through here towards Blanchimont with a fast left-hander. You keep the car absolutely flat out, no lift of the throttle whatsoever, and here's Van Loosenhout right onto the gearbox, looking towards the inside of Blanchimont, but that'll give you the outside line towards the bus stop chicane. Van Loosenhout round the outside, trying to make that work. If he keep it round the outside, he'll have the inside for the second part of the bus stop chicane, which he does. Keeps it off those curbs. Oh, back end kicking out there. Van Loosenhood, that's slow away. So Wyatt Gooden and Graham Carroll making their way through down the inside. And Graham Carroll is looking now. He's trying to get past Wyatt so far into the lead there. But round the final corner, La Source, I'm used to it being... Oh, there was a car flying off around the back there. Who was that? It was Philip Lebear. He went flying off the track there at La Source. What happened? We'll have to have a look at that one. Going into the La Source hairpin and just losing the back end. Just seemed to be carrying a little bit too much speed. Losing the back end and around it goes.
Yeah, that was certainly just a self-spin, like you said. Did a very good job to both hold on to it, not spin coming into the
we got cars on the grass, sorry there. Yeah, cars on the grass down the Kemmel Straight. We have cars going 2 wide, 3 wide down the Kemmel Straight. This is what we want. This is the close action we were expecting. But Van Loosenhood has made it back into the lead there. And really, it's all about making sure that you're in the right place at the right time towards the end of this race, because so far the guy in front is drawing a little bit of a short straw even. He's giving old Paul that draft.
Oh yeah, that was a fantastic move by Martin going into Lacombe, but like we've been talking about since the start of this race, the draft these cars produce, you can really be the odd man out if you are in the leader. It's almost like running like a big super speedway or at Indianapolis. The car behind just has a huge advantage on these long straightaways here at Spa, as Martin now making himself down through the chicane into Stavilo. But watching this draft, we've now had, I believe, 3-4 lead changes in the span of a lap and a half. Like, this is crazy.
It's a fantastic race. I'm loving this so far as they go around Paul Freyer now towards Blanchard once again. Martin Van Loosenhood just pulling out a little bit of a gap, but Graham Carroll, he's in that draft. He's going to keep it there as well, and he's going to reel in Martin Van Loosenhood as they head towards Blanchard now. Round the left hander, they go absolutely flat out, but Wyatt Gooden behind him, he's looking busy. He's wanted to look left, look right, trying to make the move, but might be best just sticking it behind for the time being. Work together with Graham Carroll to push forward towards the lead. We've got battles further back. Dirk Reinhard, he's in a battle there. There's brakes locking up going into the bus stop chicane. He is down in 15th place, is Dirk, but so far at the front, it's still neck and neck.
Yeah, some of the tail end of this field is starting to get spread out, but really the top 10 to 12 or so is pretty much all in a line. So really any incident among these top 10 drivers can really shake up the order that they're all running in. If someone makes a sizable mistake, gets someone else into it, some other people get held up, you might see people who are 8, 9, 10th position in this race right now really be able to get themselves forward and capitalize on mistakes. And I think some people are being kind of smart, just kind of hanging back and not being overly aggressive in the tail end of this top 10, knowing that they've got themselves a good position and that they need to concentrate on surviving and finding a way to capitalize on others' misfortunes should they occur.
We've got side-by-side action going into Lacombe. Norbert Sulzer there involved with that one, with Joni Tankkinen in front of him as well, making it past him down the Kemmel Straight. And that seems to be the favourite overtaking spot, but there are other overtaking spots. I'll get some words right today, Randy, I'll tell you that. There are other overtaking spots around here, into the bus stop chicane at the end of the lap, into La Source as well before the start and finish straight. So plenty of chances to overtake and use that draft, but these cars have got some really good cornering speed and really good on the brakes as well.
Oh yeah, like I've said before, they're basically baby formula cars, and baby formula cars aren't exactly slow. They can brake late and they can run actually pretty good rate going through these faster corners. As Martin is now going to be working himself down the straightaway down towards Pontimont. But yeah, these cars are generating a lot of speed and some pretty exciting racing is now. We're only 3 laps in and things are starting to spread out a little bit up front. Martin's got himself a bit of a gap over Graham and Wyatt.
Maximilian Benake and Charlie Summers are battling away, and that's his for P21. And well, coming through towards Blanchimont now, they are Summers in the slipstream there in that draft, trying to use that to his advantage. Going to the outside now is Charlie, looking to that outside line through the bus stop chicane, hoping to have that inside line going into the next part, but having to hang back for the time being as he goes through that bus stop chicane. Hopefully getting a good exit there. Not the best exit though, just losing a little bit of ground there on Benake in front. But the number 3 car, Philip Leber, having to recover, of course, after that spin earlier on in the race at the end of the first lap. And he's at the back of this battle as well. P21, it's a stern battle, but certainly they're not giving up as they'll head towards Eau Rouge.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't want to just give up there. He probably overheated the tires when he did that little spin, and now he's starting to catch the tail end as he's going to go wide on the exit of Eau Rouge, actually, Philip Leibard is, and he's going to make it 3 wide down our Kemmel straightaway. He had 2 wheels on the grass going in, but now we're going to have to see if the car behind of Maxime Benaki, if he's going to be able to pull a draft and maybe make a move going down into Lacombe, but instead he'll get shuffled to the end of that little 3-car train, as Charlie Summers will try to hold the outside around into Lacombe, and it will not work in Philip Leibard. He'll be able to stretch a gap.
Absolutely, Philip Leibard able to make it forward up at the front. They were really close going into Lacombe, but still keeping that position. Matt van Loosenhout in the lead of this race with Wyatt Gooden in second, Graham Carroll in third, Kem Bullock Bassi, I'll get some of these names right eventually. He is in 4th place with Matt Perez in 5th, John Elliott in 6th place with Christian Tananhato. We saw him in the Pro Series over the winter. I commentated on him. He is in 7th place with Matt Jarvis in 8th with Simon Povey. Actually, no, Simon Povey in 8th with Matt Jarvis in 9th, so they've changed position this lap. And Joni Takkanen in that 10th place at the moment. But still, battles all the way through. You've got Gabo Mex and Petri Kotavara battling away at the moment. This is for 17th place. They're in the draft there, and Petri is going to try and go around the outside, try and do a Max Verstappen around the outside of Blanchimont. Not able to get alongside for the time being, but now we'll pull out to the left, trying to look for that outside line. But Gabo Max having to hold that inside line and able to hold on to that position for the time being as they go through the bus stop chicane once again.
Yeah, Peter is definitely trying to get himself working up this field, but like you said, we've got some battle brewing all up and down this really up this field right now. The only car that I see that's really alone is Joni Takkanen. Everyone else is at the moment racing or actively battling with someone else towards the front, looking back. Wyatt Gooden within the last lap, he was managed to get himself back around Graham Carroll.
Leber is side by side. Look at this, through into Eau Rouge and Radion. They go side by side. Leber having to just get out of that one a little bit, and Juan Antonio Barber Bermudez he's keeping ahead for the time being, but using that draft, and now down the Kemmel Straight, or should I say up the Kemmel Straight, because it is a hill all the way up there to Lacombe. Late on the brakes, but once again down the inside, holding that inside line, and Leber getting that inside line for the second part of Lacombe and making it through up into 20th place.
Yeah, that was a very good move by Philippe to make that pass on the outside into Lacombe. He decided this correction was a better part of Valor. If I
You've caught it off me.
Yeah, I know it's contagious, but yeah, that was a fantastic move, keeping himself right tucked up underneath the gearbox, going into Lacombe, and then making that move on the outside.
Don't forget, you can get timing on the RaceSpotTV website. That's racespot.tv/timing. And you can keep up to date with everything that's going on in this race. And at the moment, 6th place, Matt Perez is right on the back of John Allett. This is a battle for 5th place, and they are right up the gearbox of John Allett. There is Matt Perez into towards Blanchimont now. This absolutely flat out left-hander through there, and they head towards the bus stop chicane now. And Matt Perez looking to the outside, but doing a good job is John Allett to keep that place at the time being.
John did a very good job defending his position there, and he was also smart enough to realize that he'd be able to take the outside line, and that Mark wouldn't be able to really outbrake him up the inside. Mark is a bit of a run going into La Source now, but he's not going to step out of line. He's not going to try to make that move. I'm thinking right now Mark is probably going to be trying to think about making a move into Lacombe, so we're going to have to watch as they come through Eau Rouge and up that Kemmel straightaway.
Absolutely, he's planning ahead. He's thinking 2, maybe 3 corners ahead, and through Eau Rouge, he holds that tighter line through Eau Rouge there, so he can carry more speed using the draft, getting right alongside now up the Kemmel Straight towards Le Combe. They're side by side, and Matt Perez surely is going to take this position. He's going to have a little bit more speed as they head towards the chicane, and yes, he's through there. So Matt Perez up to 5th place ahead of John Allott, down to 6th place at the moment. We've got drivers switching positions further back as well. Klaus Ellenbrand is side by side there. Who's that is side by side with? It's Norbert Sulzer. Through Malmedy they go, running wide over the curbs, and look at the train of cars behind these two. They're all trying to make it through as well, and so far still going side by side through Rivage in towards the corner with no name, and finally they sort themselves out. Norbert Sulzer keeps ahead for the time being.
Yeah, they've sorted themselves out for now, but I have a feeling that's not getting done, or that's not quite done just yet. But speaking of trading positions, back up towards the front, Wyatt Gooden again got himself around Graham Carroll. So those two have been just basically every 2 to 3 laps will trade that position. Martin, however, has been able to stretch himself into an 8/10 gap, and Wyatt and Graham need to be careful, because if Martin really gets too much further ahead, they're not going to be feeling that draft for Martin as they on these long straightaways, and he's basically just going to be kind of gone, I feel.
Absolutely. So as they head towards Blanchimont, the leaders, Matt Lusnod, as I say, he's about a second ahead now of his Apex teammate Graham Carroll, and well, Wyatt Gooden, he's battling away, and if these two fight too much, as you say, Matt Van Lusnod's just going to pull away. Oh, a lock up of the brakes there into the bus stop chicane from Graham Carroll. Hopefully that won't unsettle the car too much, but Wyatt Gooden now, he's looking dangerous. He's going to look towards the La Source hairpin, but that's not maybe the best place to overtake. That leaves yourself open to attack down that Kemmel Straight, and deciding against it, holding behind for the time being. But as they head towards Eau Rouge now, they're 0.8 of a second behind. So Matt Van Lusnod just pulled in a little bit there, just using that draft around that fast section. It's certainly showing us has come through now. Eau Rouge, Radion, over the top of the hill. It's such a steep hill as that as you go up towards Kemmel, up the Kemmel Straight now, and out he comes, Wyatt Gooden, side by side for 2nd place. Graham Carroll taking that inside line. You've got side by side action behind as well, Matt Perez and John Allott, but through goes Wyatt Gooden once again to take that place, and 2nd place once again goes to Wyatt.
Yeah, that was very good racing by both Wyatt and Graham there. I think Graham kind of conceded the place a little bit. I think even though Graham's out there as a teammate, I think obviously, Martin's up front as a teammate. Graham wants a chance to win this thing, and I think he realized that if he just gives the spot to Wyatt, they would not lose that draft to Martin, or they wouldn't let Martin get further ahead. So for him, it's actually just a better strategy to just let Wyatt take it and keep that position, like you were saying. Back for 4th or 5th, we were having some good battles as well, going through Pujols, that seems to pretty much settle itself down, but this is going to be an interesting second half of this race up here for the battle for the lead.
Well, that's it. We're into the second half of the race now. This has flown by, Randy. But the battle for 5th place has been a pretty close one. We've seen that one swapping between John Allott and Matt Perez. Simon Povey's joined the back of that one, so it's a 3-car train there for that 5th place. Those three, they'll be looking to keep together, maybe work together to try and catch up to that 4th place driver to try and get up there, but it's a 1.2 second gap between them, so maybe this battle for 5th place is all they're going to fight for. Yeah,
they're sort of so far back, and with so few laps left, they basically need to just start fighting with one another, I feel. I don't really see them making up the gap to the cars ahead, but we're going to have to see. Maybe they could. It certainly be make it more interesting. I'm always for making the racing more interesting, Paul.
Absolutely. Down the inside, locking up her brakes, Petri Cotavara. And well, he's battling away with Dirk Reinhardt. This battle has been going on for a few laps as this one with Gaber Mex behind them. And also Enzo Cantor at the back of these lots. So it's a 4-car train with the car locking up. And that's interesting. It's a sprint race, but these tyres are taking a bit of a battering. The cars locking up the brakes into these hard stops, because there are quite a few hard stops around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. We've certainly seen a few locked up brakes, so maybe tyre wear coming into it. But here we go, Petri Cotavara looking now around the outside, heading up the Kemmel Straight. He's going to be alongside Dirk Reinhardt now. And Dirk just having to come in behind him, trying to use that draft towards the end of the straight into Le Combe. Behind them, looking left and looking right. It's Enzo Cantor. He's trying to make his way through, but so far Petri Kotavara has made his way through past Dirk Reinhardt for that 15th place.
Yeah, fantastic move on the Petery there. And this 4-car train, I think, is going to get crazy as we get down to 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 laps to go. They've been basically gearbox to nose cone the entire race as Petery goes a little wide there through No Name Corner and down into Pujon. But I think this is really, besides the race for the top 3, I think this train of 4 cars is going to be where we need to watch here as we get start coming towards this white flag and checker flag lap.
Matt Perez has made his way past John Allett again, so that was obviously up at the Upper Kemmel Straight. So those two changing positions once again. Simon Cove is involved in that battle, but this battle here, this 4-car train, Petri Kotavara is leading at the moment. As we say, with Dirk Reinhardt in behind him, Gaber Mex and Enzo Cantor at the back of this one. And well, if you're Cantor, do you just sit back for the time being and just see if these guys take each other out, or do you have to start getting your elbows out and start moving your way forward?
Well, that'd be a difference in philosophy, and obviously he doesn't believe he wants to fight. He's going to go on the outside through Blanchimont, through Gaber Mex. He's not going to be able to hold it, but Gaber did run wide, probably gave a bit of pace there, but he does hold the gap. And actually, he's going to be a big move going down to the bus stop. Maybe a little bit of contact, but nothing too hard. That was almost a very, very brave. That was a very, very brave sequence in general.
That was really close. I don't think there was more than a cigarette paper's width between the two cars through the bus stop chicane there. Just getting the car stopped in time was Enzo Cantor, but able to keep it going. He got a little bit loose on the exit of the bus stop chicane, and he's just dropped back a little bit there from this battle as we head towards Eau Rouge again. We're on to lap 9 already. This is fantastic. And well, Martin van Loozenhoorn, he's losing the lead. The battle at the front, and it's Wyatt Godden who's going through past Martin van Loozenhoorn. Something's happened there. But Van Loozenhoorn down the inside of Malmedy, just running in wide, but Wyatt Gooden keeping that place. And Wyatt Gooden's now taking the lead from Martin Van Loozenhoorn, and there's Graham Carroll trying to pick up the pieces.
Martin definitely tried to fight back on the outside there and almost had it, and having the inside run through Malmedy, he was almost able to hold off Wyatt there. But the thing that's interesting about this, because they fought too wide there basically through the entirety of the Lacombe and Malmedy complex, Graham Carroll has now been brought right back into this thing. He was a few tenths back before that, and now he is right there. So this kind of 2-car train with maybe a slight gap to third has turned it back into a really heavy 3-car train as we get going down to the last 3 to 4 laps here.
And it'd be interesting to see just how the setups differ between the cars. Because you'd maybe think, just looking at how they're driving, Wyatt Gooden maybe just has a little bit more aero on that car just to try and give him the grip around the corners. He didn't have the best entry into Paul Freyer there, but Van Loozenhoorn just seemed to have a little bit of top speed extra over Wyatt Gooden as we head towards Blanchimont now. Van Loozenhoorn, he's looking dangerous. He's looking to the inside already. And Blanchimont holding back for the time being. But he's certainly putting the pressure now on Wyatt Gooden as they head towards the bus stop chicane. And he's going to just stay back as he's looking to the inside. Wyatt Gooden having to take a little bit of a defensive line. That unsettles him for the exit of the bus stop chicane. Runs a little bit wide over the AstroTurf, but keeps that lead for the time being. But it's going to be that drag up the Kemmel Straight out of Eau Rouge and Radion, up the Kemmel Straight to the Lacombe section that's going to count. And Van Loozenhoorn, he's in the prime position.
Oh, certainly. Martin's in a very prime position, and so is Graham. I don't think Graham's going to fight with Martin too much with them being teammates, but, they have that Radicals Online car ahead of them, and, Wyatt's got the 2 teammates behind him. They're going to be smelling blood in the water if what you said is true, and Wyatt's running the higher downforce. They're going to have a run all the way down this Kemmel straightaway as Martin does get a run. Wyatt defends the inside. Let's see if Martin ducks out or not. No, it looks like Martin's going to just hang out. Oh, he ducks out late, and it's going to be a brave move on the outside, and he's able to get it done almost. This is almost what Wyatt did to him the previous lap, so if Martin can do it for what Martin did with Wyatt, what Wyatt did to him the previous lap, what racing is this?
This is absolutely fantastic stuff. The commitment from these guys to go so close and so late on the brakes. Round the outside, Van Loozenhoorn, he's obviously found grip from somewhere as Wyatt Gooden runs a bit wide out the exit of the corner with no name. Well, this battle is going to last until the end. We're on lap 10, of a 12-lap race, so we're only got about 2.5 laps left of this one, and really it's all about who's going to be in that second spot into the final lap to see if we can maybe get the winner from there.
Yeah, we've had some passes in Blanchemont, but it's going to be interesting to see here. Obviously, last lap, Wyatt passed Martin on the outside through Malmedy, but obviously Martin said, anything you can do, I can do better, and got the spot right back. And Graham is sitting here just watching. He's watching these guys race each other hard. He's watching, waiting for a mistake. I think Graham's really going to just sit there and hope these two make a mistake that costs them a lot of time. As Wyatt's going to look on the inside going down into Blanchemont, which is something that Martin hinted at last time, and even Wyatt says, anything you can do, I can do better. They're swapping positions up here for the lead 2-3 times a lap, Paul.
Is that Wyatt preparing himself for the last lap? Because that would be one of the last places to make an overtaking manoeuvre on this track. Okay, you can make a lunge down the inside into La Source before the finish line, but that's certainly setting up something interesting. That's maybe playing his card a little bit too soon, just showing what he can do as Van Loozenhout running wide there, trying to carry the speed through La Source to try and get the move down towards Eau Rouge to get right into that gearbox to get that draft. Van Loozenhout with Graham Carroll, as we say, just hanging back there in third place, just waiting, seeing if these guys come together. If there's any mistakes, he'll pick up the pieces, and he'll be very happy with that. And here we go, Van Loozenhout to the outside, up the Kemmel Straight towards Le Combe once again. And Van Loozenhout this time makes it through. That draft certainly working. And, and Van Loozenhout takes the lead again.
Yeah, it definitely looked like Wyatt kind of just gave it to Martin there. I think everyone realizes that whoever's in the lead going into Le Combe and Blanchemont is in the disadvantageous position. So really fighting for that lead before you are at either of those two places is definitely not going to work out as you come down to this last lap. There's obviously the second to last lap here as you come to No Name Corner, start the run down into Stavelo. But some fantastic racing out front. Wyatt Gooden, I think, definitely pulling a bit of strategy there and making sure he's the second car in line. The car in line I'm really, really curious about, though, is Graham Carroll, because Graham has been just sort of sitting there. He's been braking early when these two are battling. He hasn't been pulling out of the draft. He's just been sitting there stalking. And here coming down to this last lap, if they try to go too wide somewhere and lose a bunch of momentum, I would not put it out of Graham Carroll to try to make a brave 3-wide move somewhere if he gets a run.
We head towards the last lap. It's Van Loozenhout in the lead, Wyatt Gooden in second place with Graham Carroll in third. The man that we haven't really talked about, Ken Bullock-Bassett, he is in fourth place. Simon Povey's made his way past Matt Perez and John Allett. He's up into fifth with Perez now in sixth and seventh as we head towards the bus stop chicane. Look at how close these front three are, heading towards that final lap, and the all-important final lap now is well, through the chicane they go, all keeping in line, keeping it tidy. It's all about the good exit there as you head towards the La Source hairpin for the penultimate time. Van Loozenhout, he is in that lead at the moment, but Wyatt Gooden, he's in the box seat.
Yeah, they'd be looking for a good run out of La Source here to start this last lap. Looks like everyone pretty much does. Wyatt maybe didn't really get that good of a jump, but they're going to come up through Eau Rouge and he's going to get that draft. He's going to be able to come storm back up into Le Combe. We've seen it basically every single lap here. They've been side by side going into Le Combe. Come up through Radion, and Wyatt has a run. But Graham has a run too, and Graham's kind of eyeballing the inside line. Oh, they're thinking about 3 wide.
They're going 3 wide. Graham Carroll, he's in the middle there. It's all getting a bit tight, a bit tense. Van Loozenhout loses that lead. Wyatt Gooden in the lead. But look at this. Graham Carroll side by side into Le Combe now. They're side by side still as they head towards Malmedy. And Graham Carroll's going to force his way through. Wyatt Gooden has run wide by Graham Carroll. He's on the grass. He's still alongside. Into Rivage. He's not going to make it through there. Oh, fantastic work. He's trying to hold it around the outside of Rivage, but you can't really hold it there. Into the corner with No Name, and it's Graham Carroll who takes the lead. Fantastic work. They all run wide there through the corner with No Name, and down towards Puor. Here comes Mac Van Loozenhout to look down the inside of Puor. You can't really make the move stick there for the time being. It's all going to be about the run out of Paul Freyer, out to Stavelo and Paul Freyer, and down towards Blanchemont into the bus stop chicane. But at the moment, Graham Carroll's in the perfect spot. Wyatt Gooden is in second. He's just trying everything he can to keep with Graham Carroll, trying to keep as close as possible. There's 0.2 of a second between them as they head through Stavelo now in towards Paul Freire, and it's all about the good exit here to carry that speed all the way through Blanchimont, all the way through to the bus stop chicane. Matt van Loozenhoorn, he's got the double draft. He's got the best draft of them all. He's going to try and go and take a move towards Blanchimont now. Here we go, and it's White Gooden looking to the outside of Blanchimont. It's going to be run wide here. It's going to be too wide through Blanchimont. Fantastic work over the curb. Here comes Matt van Loozenhoorn as well, but White Gooden's got the inside line into the bus stop chicane now. Fantastic, they're getting millimetres together. So close. Joe tight around the chicane. Oh, Graham Carroll and ball. White make contact. Van Loozenhoorn's the man to make the most of it, but White Gooden, he's still got the inside line towards La Source. Van Loozenhoorn is in the lead for the time being, and into La Source, it's the battle for second place. White Gooden just going to get the exit. Oh, contact, and around goes Graham Carroll. It was almost inevitable there, and Matt van Loozenhoorn, he's going to come across the line to take the win on the first Friday night prime time here on RaceSpotTV, streaming on iRacingLive. Fantastic driving there, fantastic racing, and so unlucky there for Graham Carroll.
What just happened? That was... If you don't find that as an exciting finish to a motor race, I don't know what you want. That was about as good as it gets. That was... We talked about it coming to the white flag, that Graham had been patient, and he made that fantastic move on both Martin and Wyatt going into Lacombe, but Wyatt able to fight back and get second place at least. But that little hiccup through the bus stop from both of them let Martin get back through and get the win. That was wow.
That was absolutely... I've got to get my breath back after that. That was absolutely fantastic racing from everybody at the front there. I know we concentrated on the front three for the last few laps, but I think that racing showed exactly why we showed that. So as we head now, we're going to look at the final results here. And Martin van Loozenhoorn, well, at the end of that dramatic finish, that final lap, absolutely fantastic. Martin van Loozenhoorn takes the win by 0.9 of a second ahead of Wyatt Gooden. The man who we didn't really speak about but had a very good race, Ken Bollock-Bassey, he finished in third place, a good podium position for him. Simon Povey in fourth place with Mark Perez in fifth. John Elliott in sixth place with Mark Jarvis in second. Yoni Tanaka in eighth place with Christian Tanahato in ninth. Tony Repussard in 10th place with Graham Carroll all the way down in 11th place. Wow. Randy, that was just unbelievable. Fantastic racing. What a great way to start this series, and we've got it all to look forward to next week as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was quite the race. Next week's going to be a little bit different as we head from the high-speed corners and long straights of Spa to the tight corners and short little spurts of speed at Zandvoort. But yeah, that was just a fantastic race. The top three basically all in a train the whole way, as well as some very, very good battles up and down the field. I think this is going to be shaping up to be a very exciting championship to watch.
Well, I'm out of breath. Don't forget, tomorrow we have the 2016 iRacing.com World Championship Grand Prix Series. That's from about 1:30 GMT on iRacingLive. And also in the evening, if you're an endurance fan, gather in a Tweakers Endurance Series from Monza, the 3 hours of Monza from 6:30 GMT. Fantastic racing tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week for the Friday night prime time on RaceSpotTV and iRacingLive. I've been Paul Smith with Randy Chenoweth and Hugo Louis. It's good night from us all.